Bitcoin has spent yet another month hovering around the $60,000 level. But we are beginning to see some evidence that we're about to end this choppy price action once and for all. Today, we're going to be doing a Bitcoin roundup to discuss Bitcoin's current conditions, and where better to start than the Bitcoin price live chat we have here on bitcoinmagazinepro.com. And as we can see, if I just zoom out here to look at the month of September, from around there, we can see we started the month at around $58,000, $59,000, dipped temporarily to around $53,000 before recovering to pretty much where we are now at about $63,500. So definitely not the worst month, definitely not the best month. It's just been another month around this $60,000 level, which brings it to 6-7 months. I'm not sure. I've kind of lost count, to be honest, of how long we've been around this point. But we do have some good news. Hopefully, we're not going to be around this level for too much longer. For the first time in 4.5 years, the federal funds target rate has actually decreased by 50 basis points. The Fed meeting in September finally pivoted, and we are starting to see some rate cuts. If we just look back here to March 2020, the last time we saw rate cuts like this, we can see it was on March the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, around that point. And from there, when Bitcoin's price was around $5,000-ish, for the next year, pretty much we ran up non-stop to above $60,000 for over a year. That was pretty much. So really, this is a pretty bullish pivot, and it's getting a lot of investors a little bit more optimistic about the upcoming weeks and months for BTC, especially if we are to continue to see some federal funds target rate decreases over the coming months during the next meetings. Along with that, we can also see that volatility is, if you weren't already aware, incredibly low. This is just looking at the 1 week BTC volatility. If I just add on a box, something like this, we can see every time Bitcoin has historically dipped into this lower region, it hasn't been too long before we'd had a big spike either to the upside or the downside. But really, this just means that we're on the cusp of a big move for BTC. We can see the last time we were this low, Bitcoin dipped from around the $70,000 to into the $50,000 region, so about a $15,000 move. And we don't have to look too far back to see multiple instances of Bitcoin jumping from $50,000 to above $70,000, or back here seeing Bitcoin jump from 37 up the way to $43,000. So every time we dip this low, we do see usually double percentage digit increases or decreases in the Bitcoin price action. So definitely another interesting metric to watch over the coming days and weeks. Along with that, I think it's very healthy actually that we have had this extended period of choppy price action. We're just looking at the Bitcoin funding rates. We did see that they got a little bit out of hand as Bitcoin was heating up a few months ago as we approached a new all-time high. But over the past few months, over the course of August and September, really, we've spent a considerable amount of time actually with negative funding rates, indicating that majority of traders were actually short on their positions. They were betting on further downside price action. As you can see, this usually aligns with bottoming in price action, as it did just a few days and weeks ago. But ultimately, this is a good thing. We've had a little bit of a deleveraging. Sentiment has kind of been reset to neutral. There's not an overwhelmingly greedy sentiment in the market. And this period of low volatility and choppy consolidation has really just set a very solid foundation and base for price to hopefully continue this move higher, especially considering we've just regained our short-term hold at realized price, which we've been hovering around again since about May, really, where we've had some temporary dips beneath and back above. So hopefully we can turn this level once again back into some more convincing support. The short-term hold of realized price is looking at the average accumulation price of new market participants. And what we can see is through bull cycles, this is typically a very good level to reaccumulate BTC, as it typically acts as a very strong level of support where Bitcoin usually bounces as these new market participants are break even on their positions. So another good metric to be watching over the coming days and weeks. And along with that, if we just go to TradingView here, what we can do is add on just a very simple 200 daily moving average, which a lot of investors like to keep their eye on. And we can see this has been the line in the sand, really, that Bitcoin's been struggling to break through just over the past few days. If I just zoom in on price action here, we have had a temporarily dip above this line before we've retraced back beneath it as I film this. But we've had probably around a week, really, of just testing this line and being rejected beneath it. So again, it'd be very healthy if Bitcoin over the coming days and weeks can convincingly break above this value, which is around $64,000, turn this into a strong level of support, which would hopefully give us the foundation for a move considerably higher. And beneath us, we do still have above that 350-day moving average of the golden ratio multiplier, which once again throughout September acted as a critical level of support before Bitcoin rebounded from, again, that $53,000 region, about $10,000 to where we sit today. So ultimately, there is a lot of things to be positive about, and really considering we have had such an extended period of low volatility for BTC, it's incredibly rare for this level of choppy consolidation to last as long as it has. 6+ months really. We have to go back here for February, mid-February, since we were back at this price level, and since then we've only had a few $1,000 swings to the upside or the downside. This level of choppy consolidation, I really can't remember one as bad as this. We maybe have to go back to here in late 2018 before we had a big dump to the downside. So considering all the factors, hopefully this doesn't last too much longer and Bitcoin can make a more sustained trending move to the upside. Also, if you haven't already, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to ensure you're receiving all of our content as soon as it's released. And make sure to check out all the resources we've discussed today, as well as the many more that are all available on bitcoinmagazinepro.com, your #1 source for Bitcoin analysis. So just to summarize, September's been yet another choppy and sideways month for Bitcoin. However, even with current volatility incredibly low, we do have reasons to be optimistic that hopefully this period of choppy consolidation may be coming to an end. Looking at the federal funds target rate, it's the first time we've seen this drop in 4.5 years. And the last time this happened, like we could see on the charts, Bitcoin rallied from around $5,000 to over $60,000 in pretty much a year-long non-stop upside move. And along with other metrics that we can see, like the short-term holder realized price, obviously we do have to break above that resistance of the 200 daily moving average that sits just above price action as I film this. But with the general reset in sentiment and deleveraging across traders and investors, all of the signs are actually pointing to Bitcoin hopefully experiencing a bit more of a sustained trending move to the upside. If you like this video, then please visit bitcoinmagazinepro.com, where our analytics help you to cut through the noise to make informed, data-driven decisions about Bitcoin. With over 150 live charts, in-depth crypto industry reports, API access, and more, all for a fraction of the standard industry price. And let me know what your thoughts are on the Bitcoin market as it currently stands. Are you leaning a little bit more bullish and think we can reclaim the resistance above us to potentially march towards new all-time highs? Or are you potentially leaning a little bit bearish, think this is just a temporary pump before we maybe retrace even lower? As I said, let me know down in the comments and on social media. I look forward to reading and replying to them. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.